Welcome back to the Brothers Gin podcast. I'm Nick.
And I'm Matt.
And this week we're going to be talking about cryptids, and we're going to be doing an iceberg, and this is going to be a series of videos that we're going to be doing going deeper into the cryptid iceberg. All right, so I guess I'll start it off.
Okay. Well, first, how about we...
yeah, I almost forgot.
You almost forgot. We are the Brothers Gin.
We are the Brothers Gin, after all.
So, of course. And I was realizing, it's so rude of me. I pour my own shot first. So
is that a customary thing?
You're supposed to. I think you're supposed to pour someone else's and then yours first.
Really?
I don't know, but either way.
All right,
ready? Cheers!
Cheers!
To all you out there.
To all you guys.
Matt, you should tell him that little saying you told me and Joe that one time.
What?
That thing about how the reason you cheers.
Well, I was about to say that.
Oh my god. Okay, so Colleen and everyone and Steve and Christina, they were making fun of me. Do you know why we cheers?
Okay, so the reason I think we cheers is what I saw in a video, that you cheers and then you get the drinks mixed, and then that's how you know no one poisoned you.
Maybe in the old Viking times. But
yeah.
You notice yours didn't spill into mine.
I think it's
so. If I poisoned you, that's it.
But that's
You're
not
poisoned.
now. It's just like a tradition that passed down.
But in more modern terms, why we do it? You engage when you're drinking something, right? You can see the liquid, right? You can smell the liquid. You can taste the liquid.
Yeah.
But
and then what's the other sense?
To engage all of our senses, you want to hear your drink. So when you clink it, but you can't. Oh, nothing. Unless you're drinking like seltzer or something bubbly. You clash your drinks together.
Do you hear your seltzer before you drink it? And you go,
Yeah, sometimes I'm like, what? What are the voices saying?
Don't you just hear the liquid when you pour it into the glass?
That's true.
No, but
that's
you gotta hear
sound.
the glass. You hear the glass. You hear a wine glass is the little clink. You're like, oh, very nice.
Can't you argue that you're not hearing your drink? You're hearing the glasses.
You're hearing the
drinking from?
container, not the liquid inside.
But have you ever like hit a bucket with half water and it's like, wing, 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 wing? That's accurate. That's so accurate.
It's accurate, but where are you going with it?
That's hearing the drink.
You're not hearing the drink.
I need to stop touching my mic. Multiple people have pointed out that I touch my mic too often.
My Aunt Corey watched your videos, and said, I just have one thing. Matt touches his mic too much.
Well, because you need to bring it closer to your face. That's
You're touching it. No one says when he touches it.
Because I cut away to you.
Only nobody when I'm touching it. All right. Well, so let's get into cryptids then.
Yes. So I'm going to start off with the Mothman.
We're each going to bring one each week in this series. Mm-hmm. We're going to bring one cryptid, and you're going to explain one to me. I'm going to explain one to you.
Exactly.
Hopefully, we'll learn about more cryptids that we haven't heard about.
Yeah. I'm
going to try to read a story about like the cryptids I'm bringing from like Reddit stories, like r/whatever cryptid.
Mm-hmm. No, I really like the stories because like in all honesty, I don't believe cryptids, and I know we're doing a whole iceberg on it, but majority of them, let's say, I don't believe. But the stories are so intriguing that I just love listening to them. So I'm glad that you brought one. That was awesome.
So, which cryptid are you talking about?
I'm starting with the Mothman.
Okay, so this is one I know, but maybe not as in-depth as your research goes, so...
Well, yeah, I mean, like, let me paint the scene a little bit. Okay. So it all starts Point Pleasant. It's 1960s. So Point Pleasant, West Virginia. The first sighting of Mothman was in November 12th, 1966. Well, actually, let me explain what Mothman...
That's a lot older than I thought Mothman was.
You thought it was a more recent one?
Yeah, well, I guess I was going to say like 80s, but that's not too far off from 66.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, why'd you think 80s? What gave you that inclination?
Just from when I heard the story, it felt a little bit more recent.
It felt like an 80s sitcom. You're like, Mothman.
Yeah, Mothman.
Do you know what he looked like?
I know the description is like, it's a big humanoid figure with wings and red eyes. That was the most distinct thing that I think gets passed around, is that this creature has red eyes. So when you see it, you know that, oh, they saw Mothman. They didn't see like some creature because it has red glowing eyes.
Yes, not even the eyes. It also has wings too. So it's a humanoid body with very big wings and red glowing eyes, like you were saying.
Okay.
So it is kind of unique. I don't think anything else is like that.
That is very unique. I mean, it's very easy to see. Like, if you saw a man with wings, you're not thinking like, oh, that's normal.
Yeah, right. Especially when you're on the road at night. Colleen has a picture up of what it looks like. So this is actually in Point Pleasant, West Virginia. They went so far into this mythology that they actually have a statue in honor of the Mothman with a plaque and everything.
Honor of the legend of the Mothman.
The legend of the Mothman. So going back, so the first sighting was just before the famous car chase. So if you are like a little bit familiar with the Mothman, you might recognize the famous car chase, but this came right before. So basically it was 5 men digging in a grave, and they spotted a brown human being with wings flying over the cemetery. And then this was generally considered as the first sighting of the Mothman. Now, Mothman is usually attributed to a disaster, basically. So, like, if you see him, a disaster is going to follow.
Right. More recent disasters, no Mothman sightings are at them?
Yeah, well, I mean, there has been, apparently. I mean, there has been, I think the most recent one people have claimed, which I don't agree with, 9/11, they saw that.
I was going to bring that up. I don't remember. You look back, there's no Mothman popping up.
Sorry, I just pulled up some pictures. Oh, yes, I am over 18. That are supposedly of Mothman.
This is an example. This is definitely not real.
Okay, but also that's not real because that is after the...
I mean, this one looks like it could be maybe during 9/11. This one definitely does not.
But that's the thing. It's during.
But also, I don't like
Wasn't
the fact
the Mothman
that people...
beforehand?
Well, apparently, yeah. So the Mothman would show up before a disaster. So technically, if it's after, you could be like, that's not Mothman, he's
clearly,
after. Yeah. But also, I do think it's people capitalizing on a disaster and showing the Mothman and trying to make it believable to people. Like, no, look, see, it's still prevalent.
Right.
Where in my own personal belief, I don't think it's real. And yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, no, so going back to what you were saying,
let's get into it.
the Silver Bridge collapse. So this is where it all started in pop culture, pretty much. So 46 deaths happened on this bridge, and they attribute it to the Mothman. Well, not attributed to, but they say the Mothman was there right before the bridge collapsed. Engineers pinpointed a faulty eye bear. So there's a string that leads into the bridge that holds it up. Like if you see a bridge, those strings that go through it, there was a hairline fracture that kind of progressed very quickly, very rapidly, and just caused the crash to happen immediately. So now, going back to like what the stories, they saw the Mothman, and then 1967, a year after those sightings, the collapse happened, and they thought they saw the picture right there. They thought they saw that on the what is it, the bridge. Which I guess back in the day, Photoshop wasn't that prevalent to where maybe I don't want to say it's believable, but you can't just easily do it.
But in that picture, I wouldn't if you said. And if I had no previous knowledge of the Mothman and this infamous thing that they always say is, the Mothman was a harbinger for it.
Yeah.
I would not say, hey, that looks like a man with wings with red eyes. You know what I mean? Like, that's such a grainy photo.
Also, interesting that you bring up the red eyes. Could the quote-unquote red eyes just be like the blinking lights that are like on top of bridges?
There you go. That's actually a good explanation.
Oh, that's really, yeah.
I mean, it doesn't explain the figure, but it definitely explains the red blinking. So that could be anything, and then the red blinking is just that. See, that's where I get very skeptical with this. So there is a lot of explanations for the Mothman. Before I get into that, though, I want to talk about the book. So what also catapulted this into like stardom, and everyone kind of knows Mothman, is the book that came out in the 1970s called The Mothman Prophecies.
So it came out in the 70s. So the myth existed and someone wrote a book about it?
Yeah, so basically the myth, like I said, the sightings, this all happened. And then in the 70s, a book came out. This guy wrote a book basically called The Mothman Prophecies. In the book, though, he talks about how the Mothman psychically gives people premonitions And that's how they could see doom before it happens. He talks about UFO intervention, and he talks about Men in Black. And there is a lot of stories talking about that. For one example, in 1966 to 67, Point Pleasant experiences not just winged monsters, but strange lights in the sky and Men in Black encounters. So now, so around that same time, there's reports of UFOs, of Men in Black.
Okay.
So I don't know if this is mass hysteria and the Mothman started it. Now they're seeing lights. Now they're seeing people in suits and saying they're Men in Black.
Right.
But I thought that was kind of weird. What do you think? Like, why did they put that? Why did he make it UFOs?
So I don't know, because, right, Men in Black, you would normally think is for aliens, right? You would say like, oh, there's this, secret organization where men are dressed in black suits that anytime there's an alien sighting, you'll see these men afterwards on camera. There's these men wearing black suits. Yeah. So, but I always thought it was for aliens. So if it's for Mothman and say like cryptids, that's like, why are they, or are they suggesting that Mothman is an alien, or are they suggesting the Men in Black do more than just aliens?
See, that's where I was kind of like iffy about, because I don't know if he was saying, because he's saying that there was lights reported in the sky around the same time they reported Mothman, and then the Men in Black came because of that. I don't know if he's trying to associate all of them together. In my mind, if I want to believe this, let's say, which I don't, but if I want to,
right?
Yeah, I guess the Men in Black are there to kind of collect the cryptids and kind of tell people to be quiet about what they've seen and not spread it. But
so are the Men in Black, like, now are they linked to the Mothman? Because I know Colleen had a picture up before where it was a Mothman statue next to a guy, a man in black, a black suit.
Well, John Keel was the guy who wrote the Mothman prophecies, and that's where he really ties the threads between Mothman, UFOs, psychic phenomena, and Men in Black. So as it's all of it like an apocalyptic doomsday window. Like it was all happening kind of thing.
I pulled up, looks like a little poster that's in a museum in Point Pleasant. I was just skimming through it, and down here at the bottom, it's saying some thought they were aliens, some thought they were government agents, some thought they were from a spiritual realm. Whoever they were left a strong impression on those who witnessed these mysterious men when they roamed the streets of Point Pleasant. So it seems like people at the time were theorizing these Men in Black characters were actually aliens.
Interesting.
Yeah. So this is where I think that the guy who wrote it, John Keel, he kind of he tried to tie it in, and that's where the movie took place. So there was the book, and then a movie came out, The Mothman Prophecies. I think in the 2000s, or maybe even the 90s, that catapulted it even further. I feel like he was really trying to thread everything together, where I feel like there's been many sightings everywhere about Men in Black and UFOs. The Mothman is very unique to Point Pleasant, and I think he was just trying to loop it all together and then trying to make money off of it. I don't think he was trying to be like a documentary, in my opinion.
I don't know if you could tell in this picture, but this is also from the Mothman Museum of a Man in Black sighting. It looks like this is supposed to be the supposed Man in Black.
The poor guy just on break from work in the 70s, and he's just
wearing a black suit, and they're like, "There's one of them.
There's a Man in Black right there." All right, so there are a lot of skeptics out there. I'm being one of them, and they have a lot of theories proposed to what the Mothman could be, and I actually like them because I do believe that. The Sandhill Crane theory. So now the Sandhill Crane theory was proposed by Dr. Robert Smith, who was a biologist at WVU, West Virginia University. I think that's what it stands for.
Sure.
Those cranes, sure,
makes sense.
Those cranes stand about 5 to 6 feet tall. The wings on them are described very similarly to the Mothman, and they have red circles around their eyes. Not just red circles, their eyes are pretty much very deep red. And I think that attributes a lot of the sightings to that. I feel like the Sandhill Crane was the Mothman back in the day.
Can we pull up a picture of the Sandhill Crane? Yeah,
pull up a picture. I want to show you. And they're also saying, tying into the seepage, if they mutated, let's say, and there was a mutation in one or two of them, that maybe got it bigger, maybe made it look more like the Mothman, that could also attribute to the sighting.
Okay.
So, I mean, I guess it's not exactly what we were describing, but red eyes, big wings, Close.
That's
That
close.
one.
That one. The glowing red eye. But you know what though?
Right?
Yeah.
It has the wings. It looks like a human with the legs, and it has the red eyes. So yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's the most plausible one. Another one is an owl.
Yes, I was gonna
Yeah.
say that. I saw a TikTok right before we were actually talking about Mothman of some guy was driving late at night,
Mhm.
and whoa,
That looks
scary.
exactly like
That looked-
Mothman,
yeah, that looked
actually.
like it. He was driving at night, and in the front of his car, because owls are like really cool predators,
Mhm.
where they have a silent flight. Where owls are very quiet when they fly, as to not disturb the little prey, the rodents that they're going to eat. So it had its wings out wide, and it was just like hovering there, and it was keeping up with the car.
Mhm.
Which I know one of the famous sightings was this Mothman was following the car
At the same speed of the car.
at the same speed of the
Mhm.
car, which you see that in a lot of like cryptid stories where it's like it was traveling at 60 plus miles per hour, you know?
Yeah,
But
lend credibility to it.
if you're driving at 60 plus miles per hour, you look to the side real quick
Oh.
and you see an owl with its massive wings and
And it turns
red
to you.
eyes and turns. You're going to be like, that was a man.
That was a Mothman.
That was a beast, you know? So I think the crane and the owl are probably the biggest explanations for a Mothman sighting
Yeah,
that you would actually see.
I think it was a mixture of mass hysteria. So once the first sighting of the Mothman, whether it be Sandhill Crane, whether it be Owl, happened, hoaxes and even what is it called? I guess hoaxes, when somebody dresses up as the Mothman, goes out and like pretends to be it.
Right, like Bigfoot. Like
Yeah,
you have people that are recording that infamous photo where he's like
exactly.
looking back. That was clearly a man in a suit,
Yeah.
but it was to push that Bigfoot might be real.
And I think that's what happened with Mothman. A lot of, maybe not suits, but maybe, a lot of people dressed up in whatever they had lying around,
Mhm.
put big red glasses on or something, and then
Had
the
wings
Mothman.
on their back and stuff.
Let's say a lot of people traffic animals into the country illegally. If any of them get free and they're not native, people who are native to that place won't recognize what they are. And some of them
True.
look crazy.
Well, even some things that are native, you might not even recognize them.
I'm getting something. I'm
What?
getting a prophecy from Mothman. A drink is here.
A drink
Yes!
from the Mothman?
The Mothman prophecy.
Okay, I actually think I just saw him come down from the sky. Drop these off for you guys.
Oh.
That'd be funny. So this is called the Mothman prophecy. Let me get what the drink includes.
Oh, sweet, you know? Oh, can we
So-
get straws again? If we have any clean.
Yes, some straws. So Mothman prophecy. It includes white rum, blackberry syrup, lime juice, and a little grenadine, and 2 cherries on top to create the Mothman eyes.
Oh, nice. I didn't even realize. Mothman is looking at me right now.
Mothman is looking at us. You probably can't see it. I'll try to zoom up, but there's 2 cherries with antennas. So I thought that was really cute. All right, cheers.
Mothman. Cheers.
Mothman. Cheers.
Oh, you hear that? I heard the drink.
I heard the drink. Ooh. Wow.
What is it? A little fizzy?
Very fizzy. I don't taste the alcohol very much at all either.
Hold on.
Wow.
Yeah, I hear it.
This is a drink that I could hear as well.
All right, guys. It's not that funny.
It's pretty.
It is pretty funny, but
Oh no, okay. Now I taste the alcohol a little bit, but not much. It's very
what
good.
was the fizzy? What'd you say?
The fizzy is most likely. I don't know.
Tonic water? No,
The
I don't taste it.
Mothman. Well, I'll repeat it again. White rum, blackberry syrup, lime juice, and a little grenadine. But I don't think. Maybe it's.
Maybe there's no fizz.
Maybe there's no fizz.
Maybe we're crazy.
Maybe. It's mass hysteria.
It's the Mothman.
Put it in, but it's a drop. It's like a little bit cooler.
A little bit of what?
So
A little bit of soda.
Ooh.
Oh, okay. That's
I was
what it
gonna
is.
say maybe it's the Mothman taking over your brain
I was
for
gonna-
your psychic perceptions.
Tastes like Pepsi. Maybe a little Pepsi in there.
All right, so yeah, I'm pretty much going to close out the Mothman with a nice drink. I think, in my personal belief, it's not real. the Mothman sightings back in the 60s, back in the original one with the, let me go back there real quick. I do want to bring up that one story, Roger and Linder, Scarberry. This is the original sighting. In the car where they were driving, they sworn to even a deputy that they described a 10-foot wingspan and driving at 100 miles per hour. Like Matt said, I think from that very first sighting, it was an owl or something very similar. And from there, everything spawned. Mass hysteria happened. People started dressing up as it. Tourism started, and wherever the money goes, that's where things will happen usually. And then people started leaning into it as much as they could, and that's why the Mothman is becoming
because
big.
I don't know what happens in Point Pleasant, but I feel like they get a lot more tourism, a lot more money because there's the famous statue, because there's like Mothman Con and stuff like that. You know, all that.
Like, I want to do an episode. Like, if we ever did like vlogs, let's say, where we went into like, let's say, the Pine Barrens or somewhere crazy,
The Appalachian Mountain.
I would go personally to Point Pleasant to see the thing, and maybe like it is a very good tourism trap. And it's not, the trap is a horrible like word to say.
It's not a very trap, but it's more of like it is a tourist pull.
It's a tourist pull, like the magnet to the town.
Yeah.
It gives you a reason to go, and maybe while you're there, you'll find something you like, kind of thing.
My cryptid. I'm gonna explain Wendigos to you.
Wendigo. Okay.
Right.
I've heard of them before. I've seen Supernatural. I don't know that much, but I know what they are.
So Wendigo, what people do for Wendigos is more accurate to what they originally were. It was from like Native American, like it's tribal, like
Navajo, right? I remember that.
Navajo is it wasn't Navajo. I don't remember what the actual the tribe was, and honestly, I'm probably not going to pronounce it well. It's Algonquin.
Algonquin. Oh wow, I've learned that in school.
But that's like the language. So I'm not exactly sure what. There was an interview which I'll get into for the Cree tribe. There was an interview and they talk about the Wendigo and what it is, but pretty much it's folklore. So the origins are back when back then when they like you really had to hunt for your food and things like that. If there were people that were severely hungry, they were having like a lot of trouble finding food, and they were having like a lot of like they were starving. They would resort to eating human flesh.
Kind of going back to the times for like for example, like this came out of Native American culture. Like they were hunter-gatherers at first, but then they started farming. But when a cold winter came in and a lot of their crops had died, there would be a lot of famine. So I could see why stories of hunger come out of that culture, is because that's what they were dealing with at the time.
Right. But it was said that a Wendigo is a human.
Okay.
That
doesn't look very human.
It doesn't. And the reason is because once they ate human flesh, right, it's a terrible thing to do. And a lot of people in the tribe would then shun that person, or they would like constantly accost them, because that is so against humanity. Like that is a crime against humanity.
That's against their rule system, basically.
That should be against every. If you shouldn't eat your fellow man, like
exactly.
Again, it's very like it's difficult territory, because there was that one case where the people weren't stuck on like what was it, Mount Everest?
Well, they
had to resort.
The plane crash.
They had to eat something.
But there's also tribes that do have cannibalism
tribes.
Yeah, have cannibalism in it.
So
I actually pulled up. There's a couple examples. I think the one you're probably thinking is the Donner Party. I think that's probably the most famous one.
A group of American pioneers heading to California became trapped in the Sierra Nevada mountains.
But see, you don't know, and it's very easy to say like, oh, I would never eat a human, but in that type of situation, you don't know the amount of stress that someone's under, the amount like you don't know how much pain that having to survive off of your fellow man could bring to someone, or the stress that would cause, you know, because in a survival, you always see it like in zombie stuff too. They're like, they eat people, and it's like that brings up something cool, because if you're in a zombie apocalypse where zombies are eating people, and then you have to resort to eating people because there's no food around, are you any better than
Any better than the
the
zombies
thing that
themselves?
caused the end of the world, right? But
that's a good question.
You don't
actually.
know. But Wendigos are people that once they've eaten human flesh and
Okay.
survived off of it, that they build this craving for human flesh.
Okay, and that's where kind of it starts from. Because like those people obviously didn't become Wendigos. The people who resorted to cannibalism in those horrible scenarios.
Right.
So
But
what
it's-
is the difference in this culture? Like what do they have to do?
So you eat flesh.
Mhm.
Then it's said that once you have eaten the flesh, you then crave more and more.
Okay.
So if you continue to eat flesh, I think in the interview with the Creed elder,
Mhm.
he said, quote, when a person became in that state, he is no longer an ordinary human. It doesn't bother him how cruel it is, and in time, if he eats again and again, if he eats the meat of human flesh, he gets numb. It does not have any more feelings. His heart becomes like ice. There is no sympathy. There is no light, no human richness. Meat is all that counts. So you transform into this cannibalistic monster
Mhm.
that is essentially like a zombie, only in the way of it wants to eat human flesh.
But it's not a zombie in the way that like it bites somebody. It turns into. They don't turn people into Wendigos.
No. It's not like
Wendigos.
it's not like you bite it. If you get a bit from a Wendigo, you're not going to turn into one. But if you are coaxed into eating human flesh,
You can become
then
one.
you'll crave it, and then you'll eat
want it
more
more.
and more, and then once you eat so much, you lose all humanity. Because again, and that if it's not true,
It isn't. Continue.
it isn't. But if that's not true, that's a great story, because it's like that is against humanity. Like if you have to resort to eating someone, like a fellow human, you have lost humanity. Like you've lost your humanity.
Well, when you were telling me that, it was in my mind. I was creating this moral argument, basically. Like he was trying to portray that if you, let's say, eat somebody but kill them, then you've become a monster in that society and into the world. You're a monster, and
Yeah.
like they're describing that monster as very visceral and very like physical. But they're trying to just say that you take someone else's life and then I guess eat them. That's that's taking it to an extreme where you're not human anymore, where
Right.
you're something else.
And actually, the name Wendigo originates from the Anishinaabe words. Anishinaabe,
Don't look at me.
the words. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm not going to understand it. But
No,
it comes
you did a
from
good
the
job.
words.
I would have
It sounded
butchered
great.
that.
It sound Ween Dago, which translates to solely for self.
Mm.
So it makes sense. Like once you eat human, you're like you didn't care for the person that you ate,
You only cared for
and
yourself.
now you're craving meat just to feed yourself, and it's
Okay.
for the human meat that you're.
So,
feeding.
for example, I remember seeing Wendigos in Supernatural, and I don't know, they probably took liberties, obviously, but are they fast? Because they like that in that one, he was extremely quick, and he also transformed as to like a beast. You know,
Yeah.
he wasn't just some guy who killed. So, like, when did that happen?
So from the Manicious from Basil Johnston, they were described as gaunt to the point of emaciation. Its desiccated skin pulled tightly over its bones, with its bones pushing out over its skin.
Actually, you're describing that from Supernatural.
Yeah.
That's crazy. As you say that.
This where it comes from. Its complexion, the ash great of death, and its eyes pushed back deep into the socket. The Wendigo looked like a gaunt skeleton recently pulled from the grave. What lips it had were tattered and bloody, unclean, and suffering from separations of the flesh. The Wendigo gave off a strong and eerie odor of decay and decomposition, of death and corruption.
See, like, I obviously this isn't real, but the emaciation is definitely due to the lack of food. So I
Right.
feel like that's
The lack
part
of
of it.
nutrients that you
Yeah.
can get from a human.
And
'Cause
if
we
you-
we have a lot of calories.
Exactly. And if you didn't have food back in the day, or even in one culture, then you probably didn't have a lot of power / money. I don't know if they had money back then, but power so you didn't have a lot of ways to clean yourself, let's say, so you were disgusting and dirty, you know? I mean, that could be where it kind of came from. Like, it was just,
Mhm.
I don't know, people
That could be.
people
Yeah.
that were very hungry, and then they were like, oh, he's a Wendigo, you know?
For like some
That's wrong.
actual real life cannibalism, there are actually some cultures that I'm not sure if this is currently or like previously, but they would do something called endo-cannibalism. And I know you were saying that.
Self-cannibalism?
No, I'll get there. But I know you were saying that the cannibalism is bad and that's why you would turn into a Wendigo. But in these practices, people, this one, the top one, the 4 people of Papua New Guinea, they would eat the brains of their deceased relatives as an honor and to keep their spirit with them.
You brought up zombies before. That's very zombie-esque.
It seems like there's a
That's so
couple of, and there's the Maori
So
of
what's
New Zealand.
exo-cannibalism? Consuming the flesh of defeated enemies?
From what I was reading here, I believe endo-cannibalism would be like eating a
eating
loved
organs.
one, and then like exo-cannibalism would be eating
an
like
enemy.
an enemy?
Endo-cannibalism, I think, means like eating organs.
Well, no, but see, from what
'Cause
this
it's the
says, like,
endo stuff.
what
whereas
Colleen has-
exo could be your skin.
well, what she has pulled up, the community practice endo-cannibalism, a ritual where you eat the brains of deceased relatives, and then exo-cannibalism is consuming defeated enemies. So that kind of fits what she was saying a little bit.
I actually did see that in like ancient times there was many like medicines or, you know, potions, whatever you would call it, that were made with human organs, human blood. They would get mummified parts from Egypt and they would make them powders and like make them into tonics to help heal people. So it seems like in some cultures they see eating
Cannibalism is a good thing.
yeah, they see cannibalism as a way to like gain strength, or like in some of the exo-cannibalism they would eat their defeated enemies to gain their
You
strength.
said that before.
Yeah, I was reading it from that. Yeah.
Oh, God, that's really interesting.
And that is interesting because that's South American, whereas you're saying this is Algonquin, which I think Algonquin is
Up north, it's
a
Canada.
little bit more north, right?
Yeah.
All right,
Well,
so
yeah.
that's really cool. So the Wendigo is from a Native American culture that when you eat human skin, you become a beast.
Yes, pretty much. You're so far separated from humans that you're essentially it is a human that is transformed into this beast due to eating so much human flesh and separating yourself from humanity. All the things that make us human, the things that like we care for people, like you don't. That's desecrating a body, essentially. So it's like you're just separating yourself from humanity. You become a beast.
What is that horror movie? Didn't they have one like that? I think it was a cult
Called
one.
Wendigo, maybe.
Maybe it was a cult one in the woods where they had this creature that would come at you and it had horns.
That could be it could be Wendigo.
Maybe it could be Wendigo.
It could be.
What
I mean,
is
there's
that?
a lot of movies. That is
Until
a
Dawn.
Wendigo.
Okay, so this is Until
So, Colleen,
Dawn.
do you want to explain this or can I?
Because I thought Until Dawn was zombies.
No, Until Dawn is Wendigo. So basically I believe they're supposed to be in Canada, in a mountain range, in Mount Washington. I don't know if that's a real mountain range.
The main characters of the game.
Yes.
In the
Okay.
game, yeah. Not
And
the new movie. That's
they play this prank on one of the girls, Hannah, and then Hannah and Beth, their sisters, they run out of the house. It's in the middle of winter. They fall down this mountain range, and you presume they die. A year later, on the anniversary of their death, all the characters, they come back and they're like celebrating, and then all this crazy stuff happens. And what we learn is that the one sister, Hannah, she survived the fall,
Oh.
and in order to survive, ate her sister and became one of the Wendigo.
Wow. Okay, so Until Dawn is about a Wendigo. It's a Wendigo story.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
There's also
not really.
yeah, it's kind of like a mix of a
It
couple of
plays a
different
factor.
things.
So in the game, the spoilers for the game, not the movie though, does not have anything to do with the movie, but the game spoilers. They did the prank on the two sisters, who then died, and then they fell down this like big ravine, and you think they die.
Okay.
The brother, he was asleep during this, so he didn't participate in the prank. The brother then calls all the friends back, like, hey, like, this is a tradition. Let's not lose the tradition. Let's have fun. Let's do it.
Mhm.
But it turns out that his parents are in, like, the movie business where they do special effects and they do all this stuff. And he is then sets traps. Like, he is then pranking them back.
Okay.
But really, he's like, he went, like, insane. And he's, like, low-key just trying to kill them.
Oh, pranking them back for what they did to the sister.
Yes.
Okay, so he's the
idea is
villain.
you have to survive him until dawn.
Oh, okay.
This game does the butterfly effect the most accurate.
Whoa, what do you mean butterfly effect? That has to deal with time travel.
No, it doesn't. No.
What?
But no. Butterfly effect is not time travel. It's cause and effect. So if
Yeah, but cause always comes before effect.
right. So if you make this one decision, like a butterfly flaps its wings here,
I thought
which
that's
causes a chain of events,
that's a
which
snowball
causes a
effect.
hurricane. No, that's butterfly. That's the butterfly
Well,
effect.
butterfly effect is if you step on a butterfly back in time, it alters course of events.
Yes.
Well, no, but it's
no,
not
no.
back in time. It's just in general. It's just saying how like one small
Event can, alter
event
the
can
future.
cause such a big change. All right, so I have this pulled up.
If you choose a certain dialogue option, another dialogue option opens in the future to where you get to save a character. So if you have never made that first dialogue option, if you
I see
never
what you're saying,
cursed
yeah.
out this one person, then you wouldn't be able to curse out the person again later, meaning that you can't save that person.
Yeah.
So they do it incredible because
It's basically very good storytelling, yeah.
It is. It's very good story because there's so many endings
For the games, too. That's a cool. I love
Question.
that.
Yeah, like there's an ending of this game that every single character is dead,
Really?
Yeah.
and there's
Yes.
I think 8 main characters. So there's so many
8
variety.
endings?
Yeah, but 8. But then there's an ending where one person dies, where 3 different people die.
He's so
He's got he's locked in.
I can't. I'm not moving.
Is he wearing Chewbacca's?
I
Halloween.
think this was their Halloween stream
Okay,
back
but
like
I mean, I don't-
15 years ago,
No,
probably.
Yeah, I don't criticize him.
Yeah,
He wear that
he
anytime.
killed
That's
Mike.
pretty sick.
This was so annoying because I think he saved everyone,
It-
but then
Everyone was in this scene, and
Which
then
is-
in the
that's
last
rare.
scene,
That's rare.
one of the characters
you're
dies.
supposed to let everyone go. You're supposed to like save everyone, and then you're the last person to do it.
Very cool. I like how they're bringing like those cryptids to modern, like to a pop culture kind of. No, you have anything else to say about the Wendigo? Wendigo?
No, I don't.
No.
I don't believe it, but it's one of those like cryptids where it's like it's the tip of the iceberg.
All right.
I don't even think we're underwater yet.
I think for Mothman, we're gonna go a solid 2 because sorry, I am gonna go a solid 2. I'm speaking for all the voices in my head.
Well, it's funny. I will also go solid too.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, for me, I think 2 because it's most likely an owl, leading credibility to the sightings. So that's real. But it's an owl. It's not Mothman. Mothman came from the Batman comics back in the day. That's where the name came from. Like I said, all the skeptical things with the owl, the sandhill crane. It's a 2 in my book for believability. So what is 2 for you?
Yeah, I concur because it's the sightings are definitely not real, and the hoax definitely was just perpetuated by tourism and money and all that stuff. However, I do think there could be a creature that we haven't discovered yet.
Oh, you're going down that route. Like a creature we haven't found yet in Point Pleasant that could be the Mothman.
Yes, something like that where it's not the harbinger of
of evil
of
and
evil.
UFOs and Men in Black. Yeah.
right, and it's not all tied into that. That's just us, having fun with it, doing it for entertainment. But I definitely think there could be something that isn't easily explained away, like, oh, it's just an owl, or oh, it was just a crane. There's something that could be there. So that's why it's a 2. Like,
I like
right
how we
here.
both had 2s
2.
for very different reasons.
Yeah, but it's still the scale. It's still a
2?
2,
All right, so what do you think for Wendigo then? Where is it on your scale?
a flat 0.
0?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say probably the least likely from so far what we've done, the least likely cryptid, just
Okay.
because people eat people, probably more than you think,
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? There's probably more types of cannibalism that we're not aware of, and you would see a lot more Wendigos than you don't see. And
you
no
would see
one saw
Wendigos
any.
running around.
You would, and you don't see
That's
any.
a bad thought.
I don't think there's any Wendigo sightings that are real. You know what I mean? It's always like, I saw something spooky, but it's like, okay, but you made that up. Like, it's not real. So I would say 0. Definitely not real.
Okay.
What about you?
I'd say a 1, and I'm going very metaphorical. So I would have went 0. I don't believe it. There's been very documented cases where people eat people.
There are, though.
Yeah.
And I'll jump off that.
That's a form of cannibalism, right?
That is a form of cannibalism. It's also a type of like fetish.
Oh, like a sexual thing?
Yeah. People enjoy. It's called auto-cannibalism.
I've heard a story about some guy on eBay. He posted a thing and some guy ate him and he was charged with murder.
He's like, I want you to kill me and eat me.
Almost like Wendigo is like a state of mind, not a state of
Exactly.
being.
He's giving Wendigo. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So you want to call it ended there?
Yeah.
Do you want to take a shot, or do you want to just let's take a shot?
Yeah.
We can't not take a shot. It's the brothers'
How
gin.
about we do some instead of gin?
This
'cause
one?
we are running low on
let me
gin.
pour it this time, remember?
Go for it. Are you
Let's
going to
see.
be a gentleman and pour me first?
I'll be a gentleman for you.
Oh,
Like
thank
you've
you.
never done for me.
I just heard that drink. We didn't even have to clink glasses.
Right, listen.
Well, because the pop in the cork.
No, I heard the liquid move about the glass.
All right.
It moved
Now-
about it. What are you, 1940s? Ooh. Cheers. Oh, I heard the little
Cheers.
tap of the glasses.
It's talking to me.
What's it saying?
It's saying,
People. Eat people. I crave
you got a
human flesh.
You got a Wendigo shot?
Yeah, that's
Oh,
the Wendigo
wow.
shot. Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you for watching.